Morning, YouTube. It's the working man, and just taking a little picture of this Volkswagen dealership right here. Nice car. Talking to a young lady right now. This is a second car, buying a second car from this dealership that I just showed you on the post. The day is April the 29th, and it is about, let me look at my watch right here. 1:41. This is just a time stamp. This car is how old? How many days you had it?
For a week, I think.
For a week?
About a week. I got it on the 14th.
Okay, but you went in and good faith to just get your other car service that you had bought from that dealership, and then you decided you wanted to buy another.
Yeah, I inquired about it.
Yeah,
because they've been bugging me.
They've been bugging you. But you like the car. Did you enjoy the service that you got while you was there?
Well, what I felt like, and I told them that, I felt like they slapped me and I didn't feel it to the next day.
So you was telling me about what happened now. This is just a buyer beware video because that's a reputable dealership. And people go there in good faith to do business with them. But this didn't happen to you.
No, it didn't happen to me.
Let's explain a little bit on the video.
I get played every time I go there. I put $5,000 down on the first vehicle I bought, and they start giving me all these perks, like, oh, you're gonna get the oil change, and you're gonna get. I only got 4 oil changes with $5,000. You do the math.
$5,000 down. 4 oil
changes.
changes.
So it didn't even go. It was like when they, how you add everything and itemize everything down, that 5,000 went to the side. It didn't go down.
Oh, gotcha.
To subtract. It just looked fishy. And then from that point, I said, I'll never do another down payment. Never, ever. Okay. Because it's not good. Okay,
but you went to that place and you bought that first car. Not only that, you took it back there for service. You didn't take it nowhere for service.
No.
So they had a customer that came in good faith that thought they were a reliable dealership. But the second time you went for service, and you decided to buy another car. Just a week old.
Because my credit was good. I paid my bills on time. I paid more and got my car note down monthly. And so that's kind of why he was saying you weren't upside down or anything. Your mileage was good. Everything was good. My score, my credit score was good. I knew that. I knew I carried a 620 credit score at least. But they put in my face a 589 credit score or 586, something like that.
Okay, so you bought the car with a 589 credit score. That's what they told you.
That's what they told me.
Wow.
But they told me that. They told me that's what they could do. That's all I could do with no the money down. So that means that my interest rate went up like 2-3 points, and then my car note went up like $400. Okay, more than what I was paying. Okay, so when I got ready to sign off on all the paperwork, I asked the man. I said, "Where's my other 2 scores?" And he said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Well, why?" He said, "Well, he rattled off 643." I said, I thought I was just. I said, okay. And the other one was, I don't know what the other one was, because 643, I stopped right there.
Okay.
I
figured that was the right way.
That was enough to give me a better interest rate and a better monthly payment.
Keep on.
And so he said, oh, well, we picked the best credit score. I'm saying to myself, best for him, for whom? I'm like, I am discombobulated right now because I was trying to understand how would you give me this deal here with a decent score? I worked hard to maintain, and then you're going to do that to me? And he kept on doing the paperwork, kept on sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here.
He didn't slow down.
He didn't slow down. He didn't say nothing. He didn't say
the deal is done in his eyes.
The deal was done. He didn't say, oh no, we didn't go by that credit score. We went by this credit score. But my salesperson, Mr. A. Rogers, which is a house, you know what? But anyway, said, this is what they're going by. This is what they're going by. Of course, he claimed he didn't have no idea about the other scores. So I kept sending him back for my other scores. So
this is what actually happened. This is who you actually talked to.
Yeah, I actually talked to him.
Okay, now go ahead and finish it.
Yeah, so I actually talked to him. He kept coming back to the table, and said, no, ma'am, he can put this pen and hit that 589 score. I didn't see no other score. And I said, where are my other scores? I pulled it up and everything. He said, oh, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter, you know. And I thought, okay. So when I called my husband and said everything was okay, I went ahead and did the deal. But then I still asked, where's my other two credit scores? So they pulled all three. He said, we pulled all three. We used the best one, but he never finished that statement.
Wait a minute, he used the best one, but he gave you the 589.
Yeah, he used the best one for them, not for me.
Wow.
It's apparent it wasn't for me, because if it was for me, I would have came away from there with a better interest rate and with a better monthly payment.
Okay,
so I asked them to. I asked to see the manager, hear the manager, but of course the manager's gonna stand firm with. Yeah. You know, his colleagues, they're working together, you know. And he said, oh, no, ma'am. Oh, no. We went by a 630 score. I'm like, where you get that from? I ain't never heard no 630.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so he already told you he was going to use the first score. Now they're telling you they're going by the 630.
Yeah.
So now this is the part that I want to make sure we got on video right here.
Right.
So they did a 3-card molly on you right there in the dealership.
Right there in my face.
But you bought it for the lower credit score, but they said you did it for the 630. Exactly. But you got paperwork showing that
it's 586.
Wow.
Yeah. So now, you know, I felt like I got slapped, and then feel it to the next day. I thought, ooh, that hurt.
now you did say the first person's name. Full name. You want to say anybody's name? Just name, first name?
So Mr. A. Rogers, which is the salesperson at Cypress, you know, I would tell anybody to stay away, because he's not fair. He's not straightforward. You know, he's not straightforward. That's the way I felt. I just felt like I was played with him.
Now this is the dealership off of what street?
1960s, 11411. I had it here.
That's Cypress, Texas?
Cypress, yes.
Not Houston, but Cypress, Texas.
Cypress.
And it's a reputable dealership.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a dealership you didn't went to before and bought the first car.
Yeah, 1960, FM 1960, zip code 77065.
Wow.
You know,
this is
and then I had the Brandon. I had Brandon. He was my repair guy. He was going to do the oil change, and he took care of me. He took great care of me. So Brandon, shout out to Brandon and his mom Pamela, because they really she really raised a good guy, because he was really trying to help me.
He had integrity.
And he had integrity.
Well, he needed to be the sales guy then.
Yeah, he needed to be. Yeah. But maybe if he were, they probably would turn him into, you know, what they are. But they were wrong. So Mr. Martin is the person who wrote me up and said that he got off the first credit score was 643. And the other one, I didn't pay attention to it, because after he said 643, I thought that was close. I said, well, that's close to 7. He said, oh, no, it's not. I'm like, I thought I was just bamboozled. You hear me? I was bamboozled. And
now you said something about the paperwork. This is what I want to get on the video.
Okay.
You said you already made the deal, but at some point they try to slide in the paperwork with the higher credit score after you done bought it.
Yeah, this was the next day when I met with the manager.
Wow, the next
This is the first day. This is the first time I heard of a 630 score. You would think Mr. Martin, who wrote the paperwork up, he would say, no, man, we use a 630 score. We didn't use a 586, but it's still, you know. So my thing is, you put a 586 in my face, and you said my monthly payment was 10-something, was 1,000-something, and then you said that with no down payment, and then my interest rate was 10%. Instead of, you know, my previous interest rate was 7%. You know, I was paying less than $700 a month. So, I mean, I should have been still paying that even with my credit score, I believe.
Right.
And they put a, you know, they switch a switcheroo on me. And then the man said after the fact, because he knew something was up, that I wasn't going to lay down and die with this. I was coming back, and he said, oh, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that he didn't tell you we used a 630 score. I said, no, you didn't.
Oh, my God.
No, you didn't. I said, no, you didn't. I said, no, but if that's what the lie you want to go with, go, you know, fine.
So, wait a minute. So, hold on. Let me hold on. That sounds kind of like a fraudulent statement that they said they used one credit score, but when they didn't, because you got paperwork and you know what you bought.
Yeah. They wrote me up for the lowest credit score, And not because credit score they said they got. You know, you coming out of your mouth saying 630, but and whose day? Because it wasn't you didn't use that, because that was the first time I heard of a 630. I had a 643, which is what the guy told me. So now you saying a 630. Where that comes from? I don't even know where that came from.
So
said, but that's what we use anyway. That's what we use.
But who said that though? Who said that?
The manager. The manager.
So he said that after knowing
I
that.
Think of his name.
After knowing that the guy sold it for.
Yeah, because they were in cahoots together. Because before, when I sat down at the table to talk with him, Mr. Martin was in the office, in the same office that he was in. So in fact, when I called, and asked for the manager, I should have told him to come sit down with us. But when I called and asked for the manager, he already knew the situation before I could even say my name.
Well, you don't have to say your name on the video, but it seems like we're gonna make a video short because we don't make it too long. Worry about it. You need to have an attorney when you go buy a car nowadays.
Yes, that's exactly what I felt like. You're so right.
Would you recommend that anybody go and buy a car from Cypress on 1960 Volkswagen dealership in Cypress, Texas? Would you recommend?
No, I wouldn't recommend anybody to go do that, because I walked away from it feeling really bad. I can't even enjoy my beautiful car.
It's nice.
Brand spanking new. It was barely 44 miles on it, because we did test drive with it. It was 0 miles on it. Beautiful car. I love the moon roof they have on there. I love I just love the tires and everything. And I really can't enjoy it right now. I really can't. Because, I'm worried about paying this, humongous monthly bill, that I could possibly lose my car because,
Now, somebody might say that, well, you didn't have to buy the car, but you bought the car because you felt like you still wanted the car.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the allure going in. Yeah, maybe they're going to put some tricks on you, but you want the car, and you might walk out with the wrong deal, but, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the way I felt like it is like how you treat a person that's desperate. I wasn't desperate. I had a car.
You had a car, yeah.
I
had the
a
same kind of car,
and
actually.
I wish I just would have stood on that. I said, well, you know what? You treat me like I'm a desperate buyer. I said, I'm not. I got a car right over there. Brandon got it for me right there. I can just tell him to give me a rental car. He can do my stuff, and I pick it up tomorrow. And that's what I should have did. And I should have never settled for that, because I didn't realize I was just being bamboozled and how they would manipulate my credit score. And so, what's the point of having a credit score if you're going to misuse it?
Yeah.
That's what I didn't appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
you got the right.
Yeah. So the FTC, hey, this is for you to validate what I already sent you.
Okay. So you have the right. You have the right to go in and buy a car, but you have the right also to go in and if you're going to go in with the idea that you're going to be fair, you want the people that are dealing with you across the table to be fair too.
Right. So if you're negotiating, this is what I thought I was doing. I was negotiating that my credit score was good. I could leave there without paying a down payment. You work hard for that. You talk about credit score.
Right.
So now I had a decent credit score, and then you treated me like I was just, nothing.
Okay. Well, personally, I just wanted to make sure this video got out because I don't think that's fair.
It's not.
For people who out here working hard, earning their money to go in somewhere to buy something, and then you pull the wool over the head and start throwing three card mileage at them, and not dealing with them fairly.
Yeah.
People ride down the street all the time and look at the nice place at night. The lights are on. People are salesmen out there. It's nice. It lures you in. And then you go in, and then you get treated like this.
Yeah, you think you get treated fairly, and that's what's so bad about this world in as a whole, because you think you're coming from your point of view, coming into expecting decency and respect and some balance, but you don't get that.
Right.
You don't get that, and then it's like you always got to fight every day just to have what you deserve to have. So I want everybody else to know that don't go in there haphazardly thinking you have to,
Okay.
They're not going to look at you. They're looking at your credit score fairly and not misusing it. I would, if I had to do this again, I would say I want to see my 3 credit scores right now. Right now.
Yeah.
And don't forget, I'm not a desperate buyer. I have a car. Just keep that in mind.
Okay.
And,
all right.
Yeah.
So another one I want to say this too before I stop the video. This video, I don't want to make it too long. We keep everybody anonymous. This thing is already behind. behind the young lady here who bought the car, and she just wants everybody to know that when you go here, buyer beware. Have your stuff ready. You know, have your armor on, have your facts together. You know, and I think the number one thing I got out of talking to you is which credit bureau do they use? Yeah. Or can they use all three of them?
In this particular case, he said we pull all three.
So that's telling
me I have my discretion to use whichever one.
Well, they can use the best one. They should have used the best one.
But he said we use the best one, but the best one from whom? Was the best one for you guys to get? You see what I'm saying? He did say that, but you know what? He didn't finish that sentence.
Okay.
He didn't finish it.
Okay.
And so we went on, and of course I kept talking because I'm trying to negotiate. I'm trying to make sure you treat me fair, and you still didn't do it because I was a woman and faculty black woman.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, then we're gonna close it off right there.
Okay.
Good video. This is Working Man. Like I said, once again, April the 29th. The video is about 15 minutes. Like, share, comment. You know, leave a comment down below if you like the video, and we'll see you next time. Working Man over and out.